Hi guys. So today is day one. I am super excited to start this next 30 days with everyone, focusing on nutrition. So throughout the day, I've posted a couple different things, my expectations from you guys. So making sure that you're pressing play. So it'll show up on here once you press play and get your workout in. It'll automatically sync, which is really cool. But for this month, what I really expect from you guys is being respectful. We're all here to encourage. This is an encouraging community, so just make sure we're respecting one another, participating. So again, this group is for you. It's only going to benefit you if you actually take full advantage of it. So participate, share questions, comments, and so on. Be honest. So I'll give you meal plans, you'll make your own meal plans, but it's really up to you to actually cook the food, actually eat the food, walk the walk. So I'm not going to be checking on you, I'm going to be encouraging you. So just be honest with yourself. Again, work out every day and then have fun. So this is for you guys. So we want to make it as fun as possible. And feel free to share anything as well, any tips that have helped you on with nutrition. So those are my expectations. What you can expect is every week I'm going to focus on a different part of nutrition. So like this week, we're going to focus on understanding the struggles of nutrition. So why is nutrition so hard and why do so many people struggle with it? Next week, we'll focus on gaining the tools we need to actually fix our nutrition. So this week, we'll focus on, what do we need to fix? Next week, we'll focus on how to fix it. And then the last 2 weeks of this month, we're going to actually put that stuff into play. So week 3, I'll help you guys come up with your own meal plan. And the following week, week 4, we'll try it again. We'll see, how week 3 went, what we need to fix, and so on. So that's what the rest of this month is going to look like. As far as day 1, well, why is nutrition so hard? And there's a few different reasons. Well, first of all, food is freaking delicious. Like, why would you not want to eat more of it? Um, so that in itself is pretty hard. The fact that there's a lot of emotions tied to food. So food, makes you happy. It's your comfort food when you're feeling sad or down or stressed. Um, Cultural differences. So in the Hispanic culture and the Mexican culture, food is love. It's how our parents and our loved ones show their emotions. And so the more food, the more love. And that doesn't really keep in mind the fact that, food is still nutrition. Social expectations. So whenever you hang out with people or you want to meet up and catch up with someone, it's always over food. It's always over drinks. Um, so, that expectation of always eating or drinking when you're trying to socialize makes it really hard. Of course, the cost, like broke student, you know, all the time, picking between something off of the dollar menu or having to pay the same amount for like a salad. And it's unfortunate that sometimes the healthier options are more expensive, but when you actually buy the groceries and make it yourself, you end up saving money in the long run. And so I'll make sure to cover that too. Convenience. People are busy. People, you have to work late or, you have kids that you have to feed. Sometimes it's more convenient to go through a drive-through or order out than it is to actually cook. Lack of education. So I'm super fortunate that I was able to, go on to college and then go on to grad school. So I have more knowledge on nutrition and physiology and biology, but not everyone has that. And unless you do go to school for it or you have the money to go to a nutritionist and have insurance to do that, most people don't have any background or knowledge of nutrition. So they just Google it, and there's so much on the internet that, it's no wonder people get overwhelmed and give up. So, what makes nutrition hard for you? That's a post I had earlier today. And so I'll go ahead and share kind of what my story was. And for me, nutrition has always been hard because it's been a coping mechanism. So it's how I've dealt with stress, it's how I've dealt with my feelings. And when I became a type 2 diabetic, it got even worse. So now I had felt ashamed of my body, that I had let myself get this disease, that, there's a stigma behind it, that, type 2 diabetics are lazy, they're overweight, they just sit on the couch and eat donuts. Um, and so I felt ashamed that I am now associated with this disease, that there's this kind of stigma and stereotype about what I am. And that shame just made me eat more. And I've I've really struggled with that. And of course, like all the other things, like the cultural component, the social component makes it really hard. But for the longest time, it was almost like I had no control. Like if you set a whole cake in front of me, there's no way I could have just one slice. Like I had to eat more. I had to eat more. Like I had to literally shove it in my face. And there's nothing worse than feeling like you don't have control over something that you actually do. And so it's taken a lot of time. And through the Beachbody Nutrition Program, I've really kind of worked on my relationship with food. So it's not, stuffing my face, it's respecting my body and giving it the nutrients it needs. So now when I want to indulge in something, I remind myself of I'm trying to fuel my body, not fill my body. And so tomorrow is really about figuring out your why. So why do you need to do this? Why do you need to be healthy? And we'll kind of dive into that a little bit more tomorrow. But since this is day one, there's a few things that we need to take care of. So you'll want to take your day one measurements. So I'll post an example of the types of measurements you want to take, like your chest, your waist, your legs, your arms. But you also want to take pictures. So taking before and after pictures are always really great because the scale is not always the best indicator of progress. So there's been so many times where, I haven't lost any weight, the scale stays the same. And when I look at my pictures, like my beer belly's gone. So it's really important that you take other measurements besides just your weight. So you'll want to take your pictures, you want to take your measurements, and then in the file option of the BOD groups, I have a wellness overview. And so this is kind of taking your before, feeling or other components that affect your wellness. So like, how is your skin doing? How's your sleep going? How's your water intake? So you'll want to make sure you kind of gauge where you're at now, and then 30 days at the end, we'll do it again and see kind of how your numbers have changed. So just a really quick go through the BOD groups since BOD is new for all of us. I just want to go through so you can see what you need to go to. So when you start off at the page, we have our group feed. So this is kind of like the Facebook timeline where you can post. And so I'll be posting. Carl Deichler is our CEO. I freaking love this guy. He's super passionate about his products and the programs of Beachbody. So when he posts different things on here, just take a minute to watch them. So I'll be sharing throughout the day, each day, kind of what our topic for that day is. So again, today is day one, and it's about, why nutrition is so hard. So I'll be sharing posts every day on different topics, motivational quotes, reminders of things coming up. When you go to files, you'll see I have the day one wellness overview that you'll want to do today. I also uploaded our first meal plan. So for the first 2 weeks, we're focusing on, what our issues are and how we're going to fix them. Weeks 3 and weeks 4 are when you're going to actually start making your own meal plans. So until then, I will be making them for you. So I have week 1 meal plan here, And then I also included a few other examples if people don't necessarily like what's on the meal plan I made for you. And another thing that I wanted to highlight on Beachbody On Demand is the blog. So the blog is super helpful when it comes to finding other resources. So there's recipes that you can look for. And I use the search bar like it's nobody's business. So let's say, for example, I'm really craving steak, which I am really craving steak. So there's different steak options, and now you can go ahead and find a recipe that's what you want to do. So there's the recipes for nutrition. There's different like information that pertain to nutrition. So like cooking tips. You can also look at weight loss information, so diet tips, weight loss diets. And then there's also the nutrition tab. And so here is where you can access all of the other programs. So like I do Ultimate Portion Fix, but there's also our different channels. So there's the Shakeology channel. For those of you who drink Shakeology, you can find different recipes here. There's brand new, the Mindset menu. So for people, the two nutrition programs we have are To Be Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix. And so this is the new cooking show for the To Be Mindset, which is awesome. And we also have the Fixate cooking show. And so there's two recipe books, two cookbooks, and this cooking show that you can look at for ideas for different recipes. So make sure that you're using, the rest of Beachbody On Demand, not just your workouts. And so with that, I'm super excited to kick off our 30 days of Made for More. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me or ask whoever invited you to the group. So there are other coaches that are in the group as well. And if there's anyone you want to invite, they can go ahead and request to join, and I will work with them to help them get started. So let's have a good month. We can totally do this, but we need to do it together. So let me know what questions you have.